Hello everybody, I am back for Getting to Know Me Part 2. It has been 6 months since I filmed the first one, but what I did for the first one was just compiled a couple of the most frequently asked questions that I get on my social media. So I talked about my diet, my exercise, my hair, and time management. We talked about like how I balance, being a mom and working out and being a business owner. All that fun stuff. So if you haven't watched that already, I will link that here. Definitely go check that out. And this is the follow-up to that. So this is a few more of the most frequently asked questions I get. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so the first one that we're gonna cover is how do you deal with loose skin? People ask me, one, like how did you obtain your confidence about, your body? And also, can you get surgery to deal with your loose skin? So I'll cover that real quick. Yes, you can definitely have surgery. I don't know a whole lot of details about it because I've never looked into getting surgery for my loose skin, but I know that it is possible. I think you have to have lost like a certain amount of weight and maybe be at a certain amount of body fat. I'm not 100% sure on the details, but it is definitely a possibility. But for me personally, and this is just a personal, opinion. This is just how I feel. It's totally okay if you want to have surgery, but for me, I could never imagine having a surgery to change the way that I look. I could never imagine having surgery on loose skin or having a boob job. That's just not me. That's not something that I would feel comfortable with. I'm a pretty natural person. Like I really like things to be as natural as possible. I will follow up on one thing that isn't natural in a minute. That's another question. But for the most part, like something like that is just really too much for me. I could never imagine doing that. So in regards to the confidence on loose skin, it took a while. Like at first when I lost the weight and I had the loose skin, it wasn't something that I was very happy with. I was like, I had to go through that phase of like being bummed that I will never have the body like of having a completely flat stomach or having like a perfect six-pack or whatever. But over time, I realized that that's okay, and I don't really want that because I've talked a lot about the fact that I lost 100 pounds, and when I was my smallest at the 100 pounds lost, I was 120 pounds. Now I'm about 140, 145 pounds. So when I was my smallest, I got to that point and I was teeny tiny, and I still hated the way I looked. I still thought my legs were too big and had cellulite, and they weren't perfectly toned, and my stomach wasn't perfectly toned. I had loose skin. So being at that point really helped me realize that it's not about the weight loss. It's not about the changes that you make to your body that is going to help you to love yourself. It's just simply a decision to make to decide that you accept where you are and who you are. So I made that decision and I've never looked back. I am so much happier as a person accepting and loving who I am and how I look than being at war with myself. And it's honestly just a decision, which ties into the next question. So the next most common one is, how did you achieve self-love? Let me start off by saying it's not perfect. It's very far from perfect. Like I don't wake up and like sunshine doesn't shoot out of my ass every day. There are days when I feel like shit about life and when I feel like shit about myself. But they are far and few and far, however you say it, between, in opposed to, the past. The past me, growing up, I had a really odd childhood, and I was overweight for most of that. A lot of the reason why I was overweight is, one, my parents weren't healthy, they didn't work out, they didn't care about their diet, but two, I had a lot of stress, anxiety. I was diagnosed with extreme depression and anxiety when I was like 14. And that's like a whole different video of what was going on in that time. But I was not at all the person I am today. I was very negative. I was very sad. I had a lot of angst. So going into college, like I was still that person, that's really like all I knew growing up is being that person. So over the course of losing the 100 pounds, I still was kind of that person, but losing the weight did kind of force me to change who I was in certain ways. So the changes that I did go through while I was losing the weight was like being more confident in myself, not because I was smaller, but because I was like, oh my God, like I'm actually doing this. Like I'm actually losing a lot of weight. And I gave me confidence to think, wow, like if I put my mind to something, I can do it. I am completely capable of this. It also provided me with more discipline. I was not a disciplined person at all growing up or in the beginning of college. Getting that discipline, it helped me with my grades. It helped me with other areas of my life too. And the passion that I obtained from losing that weight, I've always been a pretty passionate person about the things that I'm passionate about. If I'm passionate about something, I go for it. I put my all into it. I'm a very driven, determined person. But the 100-pound journey, that was really something that I was like, listen, like, again, like I'm capable. So whatever I put my mind to, I'm going to do it. So I did learn a lot from that journey, but it wasn't until I got to that 120 pounds and I realized, okay, this isn't it. Like losing the weight isn't what's making me happier with myself like I had thought it would. I started diving into learning about self-love and I started reading books. I will link some books below, but I started just learning the language. And I think that's the biggest thing is like, I was never a positive person. I never like thought positively, for the most part. I mean, I'm just talking about like the majority of the time I was negative. So this was a whole new thing for me. So not only did I have to start looking at my life in a more positive way, start practicing gratitude, which is something that I really like never did. But I also have to look at myself and my body in a more positive way. So I just started changing every time I looked in the mirror and I saw all these negative things that I wanted to change. I started forcing myself to look at the positive, look at the big picture, like I have a body, like I have an able body. And then every time I would say something negative about my body, I would replace it with 2 positive things. And I even had a journal and I would write in my journal every day the things that I was grateful for in my life, the things that I was grateful for with my body, et cetera, et cetera. I actually did a blog post on self-love, so I will also link that below, but really just diving into that culture. It's kind of a culture in a way. Body positivity and just self-love and appreciation for myself has transformed my life, but it's not something that happens overnight. Like I said before though, it starts with that decision that you're going to look at yourself in a more positive way. But you're not going to instantly feel it, you're not going to instantly transform. It takes time, it takes practice, and it's not always perfect. But the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. And one day you're going to realize, wow, like I do feel like I woke up one day and kind of realized like, wow, like I have changed so much and I am so much happier and more positive than I was a few years ago. And it really only gets better from there. So next question, what kind of mascara do you use? This is not mascara. These are false lashes. So I haven't gotten them done in a while, probably like 4 or 5 weeks, but that is one thing that I can personally deal with that's not natural is I love the false lashes because I don't really wear any other makeup. A little bit of lipstick and a little bit of powdered foundation are the only things that I like wearing. I hate wearing eye makeup because I hate having to take it off. It takes you like 20 minutes to get it all off. You gotta keep wiping. I hate it. Absolutely hate eye makeup. So I found a friend that was getting false lashes and they referred me to the person that they work with, and I absolutely love her. She charges me about $100 to get a full set. So I get a full set every 2 months and then I get a touch-up about every month. It's about every 2 months and every month. So essentially I'm paying like $75 a month to get it done. And to me, it's entirely worth it because it just makes me feel a little bit more confident. And it makes me feel like, I know that I don't have to wear makeup and I feel good when I'm not wearing makeup, but it is a nice little pop and I really enjoy it. So for me, it's worth it because I'm not having to spend money on mascara or eyeliner or whatever. Yeah, that's just me, but I would research in your area who's good, ask around, because I did go to one person before I found this lady, and I didn't like it. The lady that I go to, she uses like some special glue that she gets from Europe. She's been doing this for like over 20 years, like before fake lashes were a thing, like, you know, a fad. So she knows her stuff, and she is quick. Like, she usually fills mine in under an hour. The first lady I went to had just started, and it took her 3 hours to fill my lashes. Oh my God, you imagine you have to lay there for 3 hours with your eyes closed. And you think like, okay, yeah, I can sleep. But like, I did fall asleep for a little bit, but then like you'd wake up and like you can't open your eyes like once you, it's so weird. It's just, it was like such a traumatic, not really, but it was a terrible experience. So, and hers fell out a lot faster. So I love the person I go to. So shop around and figure that out if that's something that interests you. I absolutely love it. And the last question is a personal one. Why are you moving to Colorado? A lot of people ask me this when I talk about Colorado. They're, you know, understandably curious and care, and that's awesome. But I mean, also, like, I don't want to say it annoys me when like people are like, well, why are you moving to Colorado? Okay, so it annoys me when people are like, why are you moving to Colorado? You live in Florida, like it's so perfect there. Do you live in Florida? Because it sucks. And I'm not saying everybody in Florida feels that way. Like, there are plenty of people in Florida that love living here, but my husband and I do not. We have lived here our entire lives, and hey, you know what? We might move to Colorado and we might decide, oh my God, we do love Florida. Like, we miss it so much, we're gonna move back. But we have been miserable here for a long time. And when I say miserable, like, we're happy, you know, we're happy people, we make do with what we have, but we feel like we would be a lot happier in our environment in Colorado. I have family that lives in Colorado, and I spent pretty much all of my summers in Colorado, so I love Colorado. Colorado summers are perfect. Summers here are disgusting. Like, it's interesting because you guys that live up north, you know, you have the winter that you guys are stuck inside. That's what it's like here for us in Florida. It is so hot and humid. And yeah, you're thinking, well, you could just go to the beach and go swimming. Well, me and my husband hate the beach. I don't like the ocean is fine, but like it's really salty and it's disgusting. You know, people like just pee and poop, and animals pee and poop, and it's just not nice. To me, again, this is all personal opinion. And I hate sand, and it's so hot at the beach. So I like going every once in a while, and we really like going to the sunset at the beach, but otherwise, I don't enjoy it. I do love swimming in the pool, but I'm not a huge fan of the chlorine. It's like, whatever. I love the springs here in Florida, and if you get an opportunity to go, if you're going to Orlando to the theme parks, don't miss out on the natural springs in Florida are beautiful. It's always a constant 72 degrees. You can see manatees, especially if you're going in the earlier months of the year. It's just so much fun. I will miss the springs a lot. But I know Colorado's got some very cold rivers and they have swimming pools there and stuff like that. But yeah, we really want to try something different. And again, we have family there, so we won't be alone. My mom is moving. My brothers are out there already. We are really looking forward to not being in this humidity. My hair loves Colorado. That is honestly one reason why I'm really excited to move. Not a main reason, but it's one reason why. So yeah, we and honestly, to me, the people are a lot different there. Of course, there's assholes everywhere you go, anywhere you go. There's gonna be some assholes, but it feels like Florida, and we live in South Florida. We live in Naples, which is a very ritzy town, and it's where retired people like to come and live when they're old and their skin is thin, and the winter is hard for them up north. But a lot of them have money, and I'm not trying to generalize in any sort of way, but a lot of them here are snobby and entitled and rude. There's definitely been some people that I've met that are not that way at all, but they seem to come from the West. And a lot of the people that move here are from the Northeast. So again, these are all just my opinions. It's totally fine if you feel a different way. And I'm not saying that everybody that lives here is miserable or is a jerk or whatever. It's just that it feels to us that the majority of people here don't align with who we are. So we are hoping and confident, because we've spent a lot of time in Colorado, that the people out there will align more with who we are. We'll find people that we really get along with better. But that being said, I will dearly miss the friends that we have made here. We've made some incredible friends here, and the family that will be staying here. So that will be hard, but I have my mommy that is coming with me, so it should be okay. All right, guys, if you have any other questions, just leave a comment below. I hope this video wasn't super boring, and I will try to post more YouTube videos. I actually have a few in mind, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them. All right, bye.